Alright, you bastards, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today I want to do a comparison to what is the best survival food that you can take in your bug out bag. There are two kind of roads that you can go into, and I'm going to talk about them today, if you can see. But before we do that, if you're interested in detective stories, in the description there will be a link to my first book called Bloody Crosses. If you're interested, I would say take a look. It's in Dutch, by the way, so yeah, let's go on with the video. Well, when I make my bug out bag, I always try to mix a little bit between two types of food, you could say. There are two types you can do actually. And first of all, you can have one of these these kind of emergency rations, MRE kind of stuff. And the other is some whole foods with the basics. But there are pros and there are cons for each one. I'm going to talk with something that the most preppers or survivalists will start with, and these are the MREs. I think I have one of these other types with me. Yeah. These like these energy kind kind of emergency rations. So why are these good? I've done 78 kilometers with full backpack in wild terrain that is a lot of hills, and I survived 4 days on this Energy 5 emergency ration that is 2,300 calories, lactose free, GMO free, vegan free. You can make them to a pulp, mix it with water, and you can feed them to infants. So those are some good stats. But there is something that was a little bit annoying by only eating this, and that is you can eat the whole full packet, but it's divided in 9 blocks. So I would advise to eat it regularly, so you can have a little bit of a full feel of a feeling that you have eaten something, but it will not make you feel full, is what I'm trying to say. So like you can see, this is the only thing that is actually a day worth of calories, but yeah, it's mostly powder when you start to eating it in a way. So yeah, you don't really feel fulfilled. Perhaps you drink a little bit more water, but yeah, if water conversation is one of those things, then it's a little bit annoying because these are actually pressed powder actually. So you always have to drink water with it, but if water is a problem in the survival situation, like during summertime and there are not a lot of water sources around, it could be a little bit annoying to eat. You get a dry mouth, and it will not, because you have less moist in you, it will not feel fulfilled. So hunger, even though I've eaten, even though I had the energy to keep on going, there was always that little hunger feeling, and that was the annoying part. And the what is well a benefit is it has any, how do you say this, any all the food particles that you need, like vitamins, minerals. It's all in this. It's, yeah, I'm not going to list them all up, but everything that a person needs, from vitamins, minerals, and everything else, that's inside of it. Yeah, like I said before, the only thing that is a downside is you will have a little bit of a hunger feeling. It's compact. It can be stored for a very long time. It's like what does it say? 2000. It is 20 years. You can hold this for 20 years, and it won't go bad, according to what stands on this. So it can be even a little bit longer. So yeah, many people would say, why won't you take this? But yeah, it costs a little bit. It costs a lot, because this one block, it cost around, yeah, now, because I bought it at €9 for one piece, but now because of inflation it has skyrocketed. So these are now very, very expensive. You can have these in several kind of formats. It is the same thing, but in an other format. As you can see, these are a little bit flatter, but these are a little bit wider. So yeah, it's like playing a little bit Tetris in your bug out bag. So these won't take a lot of room, but these are actually also kind of heavy in a way. So that's something that we'll think about later. You have these kind of smaller Convar 7 kind of emergency rations. These are each 500 calories divided into 2 blocks. Is the same thing. It's like pressed powder that you can bite off. And yeah, these are in several things. I would advise, if you get one of these, I would say take the multivitamin, so that you will have vitamins, because not every of these have all the nutritions, that's the word that I'm looking for, inside of it. So you have these in taste, chococino, peanut butter, and multivitamins. So these are very, as you can see, very small, very compact, and these are handy for in perhaps in your backup bags, I would say. So yeah, these are also expensive. You have to buy these in bulk to get some cheap, to get them cheaper. But if you buy them separately, these can cost. They could cost like 10-12 euros for actually the 1/4 of these. How do you say this? From these energy rations. So yeah, these are really expensive, and yeah. Now we're going to talk about the other part, and that is the more natural part. So instead of everything in one block pressed, you could get something. What do we need for eating? Calories. I would say there are 2 options that I always choose: rice or oatmeal. These each have their benefits and their downsides, but I would always pick rice because of the calorie content. But what do we need next to calories? We need nutrients. And if you only eat rice, you don't get the nutrients. I would say you can get the nutrients by foraging for certain plants, but if you don't have time or the knowledge to forage for these kind of plants, I would say get some multivitamins, and yeah. Actually, these are the things that you only need then in your bug out bag. These are a little bit more bulkier, heavier, but the good thing about this is, if you're going to take something like rice or oatmeal or whatever, how do you say this? Not nutrition, but calorie plants that you're going to eat that are a little bit calorie dense, I would say they will fill you, because these will, if you cook them, they will swell and they will make you feel full, and they will give you a lot of calories. But like I said before, these are a little bit bulkier, so you have to make a choice between this or this. But these actually will fill you up, and when you're full, have your calories, you will be a little bit more less stressed. You will be a little bit more alert. You will be a little bit more content, even during a stressful situation. So, and another benefit is these something like rice or oatmeal, you can hold on for a very long time, depending on if you use a good storage container that they don't get wet. But this you can hold on for 35 years if stored under the right conditions, I would say. And the same thing goes for multivitamins, I would say. So the choice is always what's it's actually about personal choice that you're going to have to do. Are you going to do you want to be very compact, everything in a smaller bits, that weigh a little bit less, but spend a lot of money with it and feel a little bit hungry after you use this? Or are you going to be more, I would say, au natural, by eating plant-based food, and having your nutritions with something like this, or by foraging while you're bringing out? So I'm always saying, get a little bit of both worlds. Some people will use their ideology. Some people will say, I'm a vegan, so I will take only the plant sides, although these are also vegan, but some people don't trust it that way. So other people will think practical, and other people will think more, not emotional, but feeding the human side of you. So yeah, it's a choice that you have to make, but I would say get a little bit of both. Use this for emergencies, I would say. So this should be your backup food. I would advise to, if you're going to use something like this in your bug out bag, use this as a backup when you don't find food for foraging, for hunting, or that you cannot barter with something else that you have. So get this backup for emergencies, and this you can also eat cold, so you don't have to boil. So that's another benefit of this across this, because this you have to boil or cook first. And these, yeah, these fulfill you much more, I will think, and give you a more mental, psychological, and physical boost, I would say. So get a few of these, get some natural food in your gut bag, and combine the best of two worlds, I would say. I know this might sound all obvious, but some people cannot choose, and some people cannot have don't have the financial means to buy a lot of these. So yet again, if you don't have the financials, buy only a few of these and try to make some cheaper food by using something like rice or oatmeal that are cheaper in a lot of quantities. So just this is just some food for thought. Food for thought. I'm kind of stupid that way. So yeah, this is just something to think about. Let me know your opinions in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and cheers and bon appetit.